Okay, so couldn't get a hold of Landers, so instead of a Landers episode, we are just going to do a much requested Wives episode. Enjoy. Okay, to start us off, we have Callie Smith, Trevor's wife. And here we go. Callie, what's your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
Mhm. Before we get into that,
Okay.
I've seen the trend is to poke fun at the podcast host.
God, please,
So
Callie.
I just wanted to, really be part of the community and jump on that.
Can't
So,
wait.
why didn't you believe that I wanted to be a part of this? Why couldn't you just take it when
Oh,
Trevor said that? I said yes.
please don't take offense to that because Trevor just
Oh,
seemed
I
like
do.
he would
I
go.
take offense. You're like, ask her so she can say no. Why would I say no?
I don't know.
I'm the longest standing nerd wife and I'm married to Trevor. Why would I say no?
I've subjected myself to stuff for this long. So, no, I mean, I just assumed that you were
Not
like
cool.
most of the wives are too cool and too mature to want to hang out with me for a little bit. It was the fact that he was just like, "No, she'll do it. I don't have to ask her." And I was like, "No, ask her. What are you doing?" Um, because I think he just wants to see a wives episode for whatever reason. It's because I'm
He did
terrible
ask
at
me
women.
and I said absolutely. And he texted you and said absolutely.
Okay, but like it's still the way he did it, it felt vague, and I was like, all right, that's not actually what she said. Like it felt like he was faking something. But
No.
anyway, do you feel good that you are living up to Trevor's trend that he started?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it's only him. It feels like it's most episodes. But yeah, I'm glad to join in.
When you say most episodes, does that mean you're
Mhm.
listening to the podcast?
Yeah. We cook
That's not.
dinner and listen to the podcast together.
Do you?
Yes, we really do.
That's sweet. I'm glad I can
Uh-huh.
contribute to y'all's week.
Yeah. You're part of the content.
Oh god, I don't know why that's so embarrassing, but it is for me. It's like that's weird. It's meant to be listened to by only the dozen dudes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But glad you enjoy.
We
Um,
do.
no, Maddie wants to listen to episodes whenever we go on like road trips,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just me listening to my own voice, so I hate it. Like
That's
she's like, "You don't want to listen?" I'm like, "No, I've already lived through it." Like,
great. You
yeah,
don't want to live through the trend again.
yeah, exactly. The torment, the trauma.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, now can we get into it? Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I am. I feel like I started right and I'm ready now.
All right, Callie, what's your favorite thing
Mhm.
about the festival as a whole?
Yeah, taking a totally different tone than I started with. I actually do really love the nerd community. I think that it's been such a great way to keep like solid Christian community with each other, especially after graduation. It's been so many years now that all the guys still get together and like more wives and now family coming in too. And it's like really hard to find real community and real Christian community. And a lot of people just feel so lonely that I appreciate that it's like genuine community in a place where everyone can still come together and be real with each other.
What is your least favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
Probably that Trevor's not on the council. I don't understand why not. And I'm really, I'd vote for him. So yeah, just that Trevor's not on the council.
I appreciate how drastically you support him. Tell me
Uh-huh.
a little bit about all of the support that you have to do whenever it is festival season? Like, do you have to be
Mhm.
camera woman a lot? Do you have to help him edit, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we all know I'm the creative genius behind all of Trevor's uh, positive aspects of his films, right? No.
Mhm.
But yeah, we do a lot of like Chick-fil-A runs, and I did actually film more this year than I have in the past, but like Trapped, I did a lot of the filming because I was the only one with him. So I mean, I think we know where the talent really is.
What would you say is Trevor's best film?
I think this year, Photophobia was his best. I say where the talent really is. I don't know if I actually want to claim that, but this year was the most adult of the three. But it was really fun getting to go to Alabama and spend the time with Paul and Riley and film together. And I felt like this year was sort of the most interactive with all of us getting to participate and be part of all the aspects of the film and like do it together, work on it together. So that was really fun, I think, this year.
I know that Trevor doesn't embarrass easily, but do you have
No,
an embarrassing story that you can share about your husband?
I don't think there's anything I could tell you that would embarrass him.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm trying to think of one that maybe you guys don't already know about because I feel like you
Yeah.
probably know all of his embarrassing stories because he's the one that told you. Um,
Yeah.
but, in optometry school, maybe
Mhm.
this is one that you would know about. Um, so Trevor is really good at math and science. We know this,
Mhm.
but reading is not his strong suit. So, which is really funny because his parents are both like reading recovery teachers, and they help kids with this. And Trevor
Mhm.
didn't catch on. So when he was in optometry school, they um, brought in like this device that helps with for kids to determine if some of their issues with moving forward in reading levels have to do with like physically with their eye movements or if it has to do with some sort of like mental block that's happening, whatever that is,
Mhm.
toward like further growth, some sort of development in that way. And so Trevor volunteered to help demonstrate. And then after he volunteered, he was like, I should not have done that. I am not a good reader. And so what it does is it like tracks your eye movements. So if you are like going back to words a lot and earlier in the sentences, then it'll show as like, oh, maybe you have something going on in your physical development. It's not quite where it needs to be. And
Mhm.
it was like a 10th grade reading level because it's supposed to be, easier than the one that you're doing to really tell the difference. And they were like, you're reading at like an 8th grade reading level. Are you okay? So he did that in front of the class at optometry school.
Oh, no. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, this year was your acting debut in the Party Room Film Festival, right?
Yeah, in the festival, I think so. I think that's right. Yeah.
Do you want to take on more supporting roles, a more prominent role in Trevor's future films?
I'm willing to, but I am not good at acting. It's not my strong suit, so I'm happy to help when needed, and I will do my best, but my sister is the really good actress, as we've seen in Area 50 Love. So I would leave most of those skills to her, but I'll jump in if needed.
What advice do you have for any future wives that might be joining the festival?
Oh, that's good. Just participate. Just get in on it. It's really fun, and it's a great community. And so, yeah, if you're coming in beating the nerd guys, just jump right in.
So, all right, Callie, if there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands had to make those films, what would you force Trevor to create?
Mm. I want to see Area 50 Love the sequel, the film that started it all.
Hmm.
I want to see more in this, nerd multiverse. And then I think it would also be fun for him to do a musical, maybe even Area 50 Love the musical.
You realize you have to write the script, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you'll write the musical
I
out for
would.
him.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, but Trevor can't sing, so it'd be even more fun.
All right, well, I vote that happens next year.
Yeah, I'm down.
That's all the questions I have. Is
Okay.
there anything you want to say to the nerds, to Trevor when he hears this? Or I guess he's probably going to hear it from the other room. Or anything else you want to say before we hop off?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trevor for Party Room Film Festival Council 2023.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Callie.
Yeah.
Up next is Ellen Maddox. All right, sorry. Hey, Ellen.
Hey,
Tell me, what is your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
I think in general, just the fact that it gives you all an excuse to come together and just stay in touch and do something throughout the year. It's kind of fun to see Sam be so into something and, just have something to look forward to throughout the year.
But what is your least favorite thing about the festival?
My cringy involvement in like a lot of films.
What are you talking about? You went from like supporting actress to like the antagonist, and this year in Mitchell's film, you were the protagonist or one of the two. Like you're
That still
you're
doesn't mean it's
building
not
up.
cringy.
Are you not proud of your resume in the Party Room Film Festival?
I just don't think I'm a great actress.
But do you enjoy being involved?
Being in the films is fun, and that's fun. I think the filming part can be fun. Watching everybody else watch it is the part that makes me uncomfy. Also, Andrew's ketchup film.
American Unsightly. That's your least favorite part about the festival. That makes
Yes,
sense.
that hits me right in all of the gross phobias. So,
Well, tell me, what did you think of my film this past year? Or
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun. Even if I kind of sat there and was very caught off guard, I thought it was fun.
There we go. That's all I needed. But it didn't gross you out or anything. It didn't hit those same
No.
triggers. Okay. Ellen, what is Sam's best film?
Despite my extra cringy involvement, I do have to say End of the Bloodline is his best film. I'm a proud wife because Sam is a funny writer. He does a good job.
I know that Sam doesn't really get embarrassed easily. I mean, we all know about his testicles, but do you have an embarrassing story that you could share with me and with the nerds?
I was honestly trying to think of an embarrassing story. And I was honestly trying to think of an embarrassing story for the longest time because, as you know, Sam is very an open book. He doesn't get embarrassed easily. So I don't really know if this is embarrassing, but it's something that I think you all will enjoy.
Here we go. Here we go. Everybody grab popcorn. Here we go.
So it was probably a year and a half ago. Sam and I were playing Lego Star Wars, as we do, because I'm absolutely terrible at PlayStation games. And so Sam's trying to get me into stuff slowly, and the Lego games are a great way for me to do that. But we started with Phantom Menace because obviously it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the scene where, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are fighting Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
And we go through the, I don't even know what they're called, the little force walls before you get to the part where Darth Maul gets cut in half and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we're running through, and Sam just runs straight through and falls through the hole in the middle of the. And all he says is, since when is there a hole in the ground? And I was like, always. What are you talking about? And for some reason, this tickled me so much because at that point, Sam had seen this movie probably 2-3 times with me because he knows that I'm a Padme Amidala stan. I adore this film, if only for Padme. And he has sat through it with me multiple times. And the fact that he did not remember that there was a critical part of the film where there's a hole in the floor just made me crack up. But
and it's his like best friend's favorite Star Wars movie too.
Exactly.
Like this is he should know this film by heart.
Know.
Wow. Man, yeah, no, he's gonna get flack for that one. Tell me about some of the roles that you take on as a wife of a Party Room Film Festival director.
Well, I take on many roles. I take on a bounce board. I'm constantly hearing his ideas and giving him advice or, feedback. And I am almost always an actress, or at least I have been in all of his films up until this point. I don't know really what he wants to do next year exactly, but that may or may not be true for next year. I get to sit there while he texts you all and laughs to himself over all of the random stuff that you do and just get to be like, good, glad my husband is having fun.
Do you ever have to be a camera woman?
You know what? I only think I did in Metal Gear Solid. I don't think I had to be a camera woman in any other film. At least to my memory. But End of the Bloodline was honestly a very, it was just him, me, and Matt, and that was it. So I wouldn't be surprised if I held the phone at some point.
I didn't send you this question ahead of time, but I feel like it's a good question. What advice do you have for any future wives that might be joining our collective?
Roll with it. If your husbands are having fun, have fun with them. Even if you wind up with cringy evidence of your cringeness.
If there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts for the husbands and the husbands had to create those films, what would you force Sam to create?
Oh gosh, I was thinking about this and couldn't pin it down. I feel like I honestly would make him make some cheesy high school drama of a film. Just have him remake Cinderella Story or something, just to...
With Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see Sam's version of that. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit.
You're welcome.
Oh,
sorry,
actually, can I talk?
Stories.
No, you're good. Can I talk to Sam real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so I don't have to keep messaging him. All right, coming up next is Madison McGlone. Okay, now that I'm recording, do you want to announce a pregnancy?
What do you mean by that?
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I'm pregnant.
That's not funny. Stop it. Madison, what's your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
My favorite thing of the festival?
Yep.
I think watching you guys, nerds, you nerds come together and just see each other and just kind of go at each other and diss each other.
Okay. What is your least favorite thing about the festival?
My engagement photo being used after I didn't give permission.
Yep.
Yep. You
I'm
know
gonna
who you
go,
are.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with that answer. By the way, her least favorite thing about the festival is how much time I put into it.
That's true. Also, losing my husband to editing all the podcasts. Also, why is Grizzly barking?
I don't know. I think he hears you talking in there. Maybe.
Oh, interesting.
Hey, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. All right. What are some of the roles that you have to support your husband in for the festival?
Does that include the podcast?
Not really, but I mean, sure.
Well, the festival, my husband likes to go extra for the festival. I mean, let's think back to your fever dream and how much time you put into that. And it does help that I was at camp the past few summers. So it didn't really take me like away from you, or you were away from me, I guess.
Mhm.
But that's all you talked about, I felt like, when we talked on the phone.
What is your husband's best film? There,
Um,
I can remind you if you don't remember them.
oh, I remember them. The first one was I think you were kind of distracted by a girl. The second one was definitely your best one, the fever dream. And then the gummy bear, that was rough.
We don't have to. All right. Um, I feel like it's not fair if I don't ask this next question. Please share an embarrassing story about your husband.
This is a hard one, honestly, though.
Yeah, do you want to stay married?
I feel like you don't get embarrassed much, but I mean, I don't think you've done anything embarrassing since we've been together, but like,
Oh, that's good.
I think you have embarrassing story before, but I didn't experience them.
Yeah, it's because I'm like super mature now that I never do anything embarrassing anymore.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I think the most, okay, for me, when you embarrassed me the most, I would say,
Okay.
no, because it really did annoy me, was when you yelled, "That's my girlfriend," at my graduation
Oh yeah.
to the whole stadium where thousands of people could hear you, and it was in the recording.
Yeah. Microphone picked me up from about 100 yards away.
Yes,
Pretty
it did.
good. Got volume on me. Now, I don't know if this question necessarily applies to you being a new wife to the festival, but what advice would you have for any future wives that might be joining in the years to come?
Pretty much during the months of May, leading up to like the month of June, you're gonna lose your husband to him planning for his video. And then you're gonna lose him for the month of June because he's gonna be recording and editing his video. And then you're probably gonna be not entirely forced, but kind of forced to go to the film festival as well. But it's really fun, and sometimes last minute you may decide you want to go more.
We can change the answer to the last one. That was probably the most embarrassing thing, is revealing how much time I put into the festival. If there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands had to create the films that the wives wrote, what would you force your husband to create?
Oh, this is a good one. I could go so many ways with this one.
Mhm.
Which direction do you want me to go?
Follow your heart. What film? Because I mean, like, keep in mind you have to write the script for it, and I mean, I have to make whatever you write, but it's up to you.
Okay, well, you've gotten me into Game Changers. I honestly would love to see a film that like is kind of like a game show
Hmm.
where no one knows the rules except for the host, and it's like Game Changers. Like it changes every time, and won't ever know it. Like you may go on it and you may tell your best friend, you may go tell King, oh, this is what is going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. And I think
Hmm.
like if you could like do a bunch of videos from each person's perspective with like one host. I think that'd be cool.
There we go. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Wow, I really started recording and didn't have anything to say. Here's Riley. Riley, what is your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
Especially this past one, it was like retreat like. I thought that
Mm.
was really fun. But that was mostly this past one because we were on Zach's parents' nice property. But I love that it's like an annual gathering with people. And we talked about this. I remember talking about this with Zach's mom. She's like, this is so unique that all these guys from a hall, like a dorm hall, get together every year.
Mm.
Like I just feel like a lot of people would be blessed by getting together with that many people from their college every year. So that's like my feeling on all of it. I also would never like some of the wives like I will hang out with other times, but most of them I won't naturally run into or we're not like natural friends. So that's been really cool to get to know the spouses.
What is your least favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
My least favorite thing, probably when I don't understand why everyone's laughing. I'm like, I sometimes I'm a little bit slower to jokes, but some of these jokes are just like either they're not funny or they're inside jokes and I don't understand.
I've never thought about that before.
That's probably my least favorite because I like to feel, included. So then I feel left out if I don't know why we're laughing. But that's okay. I'm content with that. I accept it.
As long as everybody's having a good time, you're happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Riley, what is Paul's best film?
For his like party room film festival films, I liked this last one because it was doubled up with Trevor's. So Callie and I were very involved in the production, and I did like complain a lot. But looking back, like on the film day, it was so long. But looking back, I only have fond memories. But it was just fun. Like I couldn't even tell you like what I was trying to think about, like what parts of the film I liked, but I was like, I don't even know which one was Trevor's and which one was Paul. Like I just don't know. Obviously, the intro was really fun. And that was Paul for both for both of them. And in that film, I love when Paul wears his sunglasses. I like got him these sunglasses and he just doesn't like wearing them. He'll like wear them for driving. So seeing him with the sunglasses on, I just love that. His like favorite film that he's made since I've known him, like narrative films, not like other ones, I guess. Balaam is my favorite.
Okay.
Because it was just that was like one I helped with a lot, and I was in charge of the donkey, which was really fun. And it was just we have like a really fun picture from that, and it's a good memory. Yeah, and that's my favorite story too. Thought it was really good. Yeah.
So you just talked a little bit about how you had to be like camera woman and stuff like that. Tell me about some of the responsibilities that get shoved onto you because of the festival.
I'm probably like I do probably more than anything like audio. Wait, did we even do audio? Oh no, we didn't do audio. Did we? I'm just thinking about all the other things that I will do for Paul when he asks me to help him. I do audio. The probably like holding stuff or hiding. I think I did a lot of hiding like in a corner. Holding something up.
Oh, okay.
Lots of like uncomfortable, tiring things. I was hungry, so I had to stay there and wait for them. So being hungry while I am supporting them. I'm trying to think of what specifically we did. We didn't do tons. We just had to be there the whole time. Yes, those are my things. Holding things up, doing audio, which I do kind of like.
Now, you have been in a couple films, but mostly as like a supporting actress.
Sure.
Do you want do you want to have a more prominent role in one of Paul's films?
I would do it if Paul felt like I needed to do it, but I don't think I would be very good. I guess in the vlog, Paul and I were like the main characters of the vlog. So, but that wasn't acting. That was just this. That was like you and me talking, kind of natural. I am naturally a supportive person and I like to assist people, so I would do it. But I don't think I feel drawn to do it.
All right. Please tell me an embarrassing story about Paul.
I'm
sure it doesn't exist, but
I was like, I can't think of anything embarrassing. But then I remember that one time he accidentally body slammed me off of the steps of GC. And he felt very bad about it because I could have been seriously hurt, obviously. I'm glad.
Okay, but why did he do that? How did that come about?
He was like carrying me down the steps and then he tripped. So he fell face first and landed on me on the bottom of the GC steps. So it was just like a whole fast thing. And I was like, what just happened? My body hurts a lot. So, body slamming your girlfriend accidentally, that's kind of embarrassing.
So if there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands had to make that film for the festival, what would you force Paul to create?
In terms of like writing stories, that's not my area, but I would be down to do something that is like within my interests, which would be something with animals. So I would probably make Paul use only animals, and maybe one person has the film. So maybe you'd have to have like voice actors. I think, maybe like a live action cartoon with a bunch of farm animals. That's what I would make him do. And I have no idea what he would do with it or if it would be good, but that's what I came up with.
I've got 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
What advice would you have to the future wife of a nerd, of a director? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if all of them will get married. I just wanted to I don't know what God has planned for them. That's what I mean. Not like will never find someone. Just don't want to assume. So right now, I would just have them try to be content. Okay, but I'm talking about the future wives. The future wives, I would just say like jump in and have fun. Like I think it's way more fun to like get into I'm speaking as a wife, our husband's world. Like it's more fun to just jump in and be a part of it than even, not that people are resistant, but it's just more fun to get all in. So that would be my main advice. And then you're getting a cool community.
All right, coming up next is the first lady of the Party Room Film Festival, Sarah King. Sarah, tell me, what is your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
I would say that it gives Andrew something to do.
It keeps him busy.
Yes.
What is your least favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
Also, probably that it gives Andrew something to do. He's very preoccupied with it all the time, and then showing me things, and I'm like, I have to laugh at this, but I don't think it's funny. And so then I feel awkward.
So it's a double-edged sword for you because you're like, well, I'm glad he's entertained, but also he's always consumed with it.
Yeah, he is easily entertained by spending time on things that don't really matter. Like watching him make a lot of the things for this, spending so much time on it, and I'm like, who can you show this to other than your nerd friends that would appreciate it? But that's just the nature of it. I'm glad that Andrew has a group of friends who can appreciate this because it's hard for me to pretend sometimes.
What is your husband's best film? I can give you a recap if you don't remember them.
That would be great. I literally don't remember any of them.
Okay, year 1 was Evil. It's about Zach Adam and his brother one of them gets coronavirus and acts like a vampire. They stab each other a lot.
I remember that.
Year 2 was your husband picking a mole off of his back.
Oh, definitely not that one. No.
And then this year was the black and white one, autobiopic.
Oh my gosh, there's been 3 years already.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane. Guess we only have more to look forward to. I would say definitely not the second one. I feel like I remember when Andrew gave me the concept for that, and I was like, I don't know what you expect from me because I don't think it's funny. I really, I think I like the first one. I think I could laugh about that. The third one I don't really get. I like that it's in black and white, but that's about it. But the first one, I think Zach and his brother did a good job, and I mean the stabbing scene went on for like too long. The music was good. Also, I did name that film. I'm really proud of that. I mean, I didn't have to work too hard because it's literally one word, but yeah, I'd go with the first one.
So you just talked about how you named it for him. What are some other ways you support Andrew in the film festival? Like, do you ever help with editing or camera work, anything like that?
Oh, sometimes I do film him. I do remember filming him for one of the films. I think it was for Josiah's film maybe last year. And when I say film, I literally just held an iPhone horizontal and Andrew spoke for a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm the sounding board for all of his ideas. Do I agree with them? No, but I really think that counts for something.
It definitely does.
And I mean, obviously I show up, which I think sometimes is asking a lot of me. So
But hey, it counts. You showed up to be there to support him. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of myself just for being there, to be honest.
All right. Can you do me a favor and share an embarrassing story about Andrew?
This is tough because I really don't know. I'm looking at him now to see if anything sparks inspiration. I feel like Andrew is unfortunately not that embarrassing of a person, which I guess could make sense for all of you guys. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I don't know. I wish I had more time to think. I don't remember if Andrew has any like embarrassing stories. But I wish I did because I would love to embarrass him.
If there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands had to create those films, what would you force Andrew to create?
That's a really good question because I feel like as much as I would try hard to make something like hard for Andrew to do, he would just run with it and like, because he's so competitive, like make it his own. So I thought about this question a little bit, and was thinking that, maybe something that is just so like incredibly girly that he would like hate the theme of it would probably be like Barbie or like My Little Pony, because I used to love those, and I have like a lot of the Barbie movies, and I remember Andrew was like, we're not putting that with the rest of our movies. So I feel like I would force him to do something like based on Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus, Barbie Swan Lake, Barbie 12 Dancing Princesses, just so Andrew has to think a little bit outside of the box and to make him kind of cringe a little bit. And then I think just the icing on top of that would be, since I have the Barbie movies, even though he didn't let me display them, he would have to watch some of them with me.
As like fun research for the film.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, at least for me. And I think I deserve some fun, honestly. So,
well, that's all the questions I have. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Do you have anything that you want to say to the chat? Or
wow. I guess thank you for letting me be a part of this, even though I never said that I wanted to be. I think it is nice that you guys thought of me to say something. And I am a little bit looking forward to the next one because I've heard some of the planning and I feel like I had a little bit to do with it. I'm not going to give anything away, but you guys are definitely in for a fun year.
Awesome.
But really, that's it. Thanks for letting me chat.
The newest addition to the nerd group by 1 week, it is Mitchell Judy's wife, Holly. Yay! Holly, tell me, what is your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
So I was really bummed I didn't get to go last year. I'm really bummed I'm not going to be able to go this year. I thought it was super fun the first year I went because it was that was my first like introduction to what the festival was all about, what was all encompassed in that. And I think for me it was fun to see what people came up with what the rules were, and also just kind of to see like the different ideas and stuff. But I think it's so much fun to see. I just like binge watch the films this year, and I think it's so much fun to see like people in other people's films and seeing all these like fun different crazy ideas. And I loved the reaction part this year, that they like did the reaction recordings, because I think the reactions make the festival almost. Like it's so much fun to see how people react to stuff. And for me, it was really cool because I was in Mitchell's film the last couple years, and it was kind of cool. I'm like, I felt like an idiot filming a couple of parts, because I was like, I don't know if I'm saying this right or if it sounds stupid because it's coming out of my mouth. But then people reacted well to it. So I was like, it's kind of one of those things. It's just a fun experience overall.
Being able to like get to see the payoff for your discomfort, basically.
Yeah. I was so terrified on that one scene that we just filmed this last year. We were like walking. It was me and Ellen walking along like the edge of the creek or whatever, and there was like a snail somewhere that we were aware was there, and we were trying so hard not to step on it. And I don't remember for the life of me where it was. So I'm just like internally panicking about this snail, and also trying to do the scene and not look like I'm terrified.
Holly, what is your least favorite thing about the festival?
I don't know how to say this without people getting mad.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Here's the thing. I think I'm different than some of the people because I don't get offended very easily. I don't it's very hard for me to be like to watch something and get like, oh, like I didn't like that or something like that. Like I don't know. I think sometimes taking risks is kind of a fun thing to do, especially when you're being creative and whatnot. And I know that there's some things that are like, like it's kind of like weird. It's a little bit out there and stuff like that. But I kind of like to see the out there stuff and kind of like pushing the boundaries and stuff like that. And I think sometimes it can just be perceived as like inappropriate and stuff like that. And I get it, but it just doesn't really bother me. But I would say that's the only part, because I think it takes away from it a little bit, because people are like, ooh, I don't like that as much or something like that.
Like censorship, basically.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I married my husband, but like he's one of the ones that is like, he kind of tests the boundaries and stuff like that. And he's very proud of his role, and
If it were up to you, there would be side boobs and bare butts all everywhere.
I would go that far, but I feel like I don't know if I would go that far. I feel like I don't know how to explain this, but like it there's some things that I think it's okay if it's there, if it's not the center of attention. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I would not like a full movie of like just pushing, and there's no storyline, there's no plot line, there's nothing. Like that's different. But I'm like, if it's like a really like maybe touchy joke, maybe that could come across wrong or something like that. Like I've seen that in like films before and it doesn't really bother me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like not like anything like racist or anything like that, but like inappropriate kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. Like I'm not into like racist stuff or anything like that. But like stuff like the whole butt thing is kind of where I'm headed here. I didn't think it wasn't the center of the entire movie. It was a split second. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of what I was like, it didn't bother me that much. I get it, why people were offended by it, but it didn't really bother me when I watched it back.
I got you. All right, so what do you think is Mitchell's best film that he has submitted to the film festival?
I'm really, really proud of what he did with Life is Meaningless, just because he had so many, or Life is Not Meaningless, sorry. He had so many different things that he had to combat for that film to happen. Like, he literally had so many obstacles of, this movie has to be this now because I don't have this actor, or I don't have this prop, or I don't have, like, there was just so many factors into it. So I think I'm really proud of that film for him. But I think his best film was this last one. Because I think it was different for him. It wasn't something that you typically see, and, like, I don't know, it was kind of out of the box for him, and he had a really hard time, like, trying to kind of navigate if he was even gonna be perceived as funny, and, like, if this was gonna, I just thought I think it hit well. I think it hit well. It was really fun to make. He had a lot of good ideas with it, and it was just really fun for us to make, and then to watch him kind of be creative in a different way, because he's very, like, the first two films were very, like, serious, more like, intense, I would say, and this was just kind of a lighthearted, fun thing that he did, and, it was just fun. It was just a fun thing, so I think that was cool.
So obviously you have acted in Mitchell's films. Are there any other roles in which you support him in regards to the festival?
I don't know how to answer that question.
I mean, like, do you have to be a camera woman? Do you help him write? Do you help him edit? Like, stuff like that.
So, I would say, like, I've a camera woman occasionally. I don't know if he loves me being a camera woman, because I have a hard time, like, not laughing at some things. And then you hear me when my little squeak in the background. But occasionally that, I don't know if I would say I've helped him really, like, co-write or anything. I know he's bounced ideas off me before, and, like, he'll take a note from me here or there, as far as, like, do you think I should go this direction, or do you think I should go this direction? Like, what? I didn't ask you, little boy, Jimmy. But, like, that kind of stuff, he'll bounce ideas off of me quite a bit. But this year, I know, this film that he's making this year, I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more involved with, based on conversations we've already had.
I see, that just leads to more questions, because he has pitched, I think, 3 films to me. And, like, then a week later he'll be like, wait, no, scratch that. I've got an idea this time. How many films has he gone through with you so far?
For this year, or just in general, since we've known each other?
This year.
This year, I think he's cycled through 7 ideas that I know of. But I think here's the thing about Mitchell, and I've just become very accustomed to this because I know how he thinks. He's very much like, I have this idea, but then I have an epiphany over here, so I want to morph it, or I want to completely flip it. Like, he starts with a baseline, and then he kind of develops it. And he has so many ideas, I think he has a hard time taking on. I think that's what it is.
All right. So Mitchell's in the other room, right?
Yeah, he can't hear anything.
Awesome. Let me hear an embarrassing story about Mitchell.
Perfect. I have a great one for this.
Here we go.
So it's okay if it's recent, right?
If you are okay with however it might affect your marriage, it is fine. Like,
He loves me. It'll be fine.
there we go.
He committed to me. He's stuck now. So this was recent, and it's embarrassing, but it's kind of also hilarious. I was not thrilled at the time, but So this was during the first trimester of pregnancy. I can't remember exactly what day or anything like that, but I have this thing and this is important. I promise this is relevant. I have this thing where when I smell certain things, it makes me nauseous. It's just been like that the whole pregnancy.
Mm.
So we are, two of us, we kind of just do this thing where we kind of like wander into bed like at night, like once we're getting tired. So we just like kind of lay there and we'll watch TV or we'll, read something or whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm laying there, I'm watching TikTok, I'm laying in my pregnancy pillow, I'm comfortable, I'm fine. And Mitchell just farts, the loudest fart I've ever heard in my life. And it's the smelliest fart I swear I've ever smelt. So I'm like, that's gross. And then the smell hits my nose. I got so nauseous that I ended up running to the bathroom and I got sick. It was awful. And he felt so bad. And I didn't it was one of those things I was angry at the time because I didn't want to get sick, but I
Yeah.
also thought it was hilarious. And he just felt so bad because I had gotten sick. And I'm like, it's actually kind of funny. I was just angry in the moment.
That's amazing.
But yeah, that's happened a couple times since then, but not as intense as that time because that was, oh my goodness.
Much like, my wife, you are a new wife to the group and everything. Down the line, we're probably going to have more wives join this little family. What advice and or warnings do you have for any future wives that might be joining?
I think advice I would have for like a new wife coming in would be to kind of I feel like be open to different forms of creativity because I think that everybody kind of is creative in their own different way.
Mhm.
And sometimes you can't see it until you see it. I don't know how to explain it.
Mhm.
Like you can't visualize a film until you're actually looking at it kind of thing. The other thing I would say is for me, I wish during that first time that I went to the Party Room Film Festival, I felt like I was very nervous because I was very new. And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know if these people really even want to talk to me because
Mhm.
they don't know who I am yet
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I wish I would have had a little bit more confidence, I guess would be at the time to go up to people and kind of interact a little bit more because I just think it's just such a cool group. Like everybody is super cool and I felt very welcomed. I was so shy meeting everybody for the first time. And this was just kind of it was a ritual, it was it's a
Mhm.
ritual that you're coming into and everything. And you're like, you don't want to feel like the out person coming in. But I
Mhm.
think if I would have interacted a little bit more, I think I would have felt a little bit more comfortable. But I
Yeah.
also didn't want to take the attention away from Mitchell in his film and all
Mhm.
that stuff. And that's kind of part of the reason. But now, you know, kind of being where we're at and everything, I would have done that differently.
Yeah. Just jump on in there and make friends. Make the most of it.
Yeah. Which I still have time to do, but I gotta get through this pregnancy thing first.
If there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands
Mm-hmm.
had to create those films, what would you force Mitchell to create?
I mean, oddly enough, I feel like I would force him to create a love story because I don't think he wants to do it. And I think, but here's the thing, I would want it to be with a twist of some kind. And the thing he doesn't, so this one does not like romance very much. However, I think that, I would make him do something really weird, like do the romance thing, but have one of them get decapitated or something. I don't know, something fun like that. But or just something super. I don't want it to be romantic and everything was no, that's not something I want to watch. But I think it would be funny if he did something kind of like weird and outlandish with a romance kind of thing. I don't know. I think that would be fun, but I don't think he'll ever do that unless I write it.
That works. I want to see it. So let's see if we can get that to happen.
I mean, you guys just say the word and I'll make it happen.
The next interview is my arch nemesis, my arch nemesis, my rival's wife, Caitlin Winterowski. Caitlin, what is your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
I think like how everybody gets together and has like a really good time and supports each other, and everybody wants each other to be the best they can be, and they just support each other. I like that.
How about your least favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
Well, this year it's on my birthday, so we won't be there.
We'll reschedule, don't worry. Your husband's only done 2 films, but in your opinion, which one was his best film?
I like The Rotten Roommate. I like that one. That was my
Why? Just out of curiosity.
I came up with it. It was my idea.
Interesting. You know, we look at Aaron as some type of god among men, but you're telling me that the creative genius is you.
Yeah, we kind of like, I came up with like the whole scary like theme, and then just like some parts in it, but then Aaron kind of created the storyline.
Well, you talked a little bit about like how you created the theme. Tell me a little bit about some of the roles that you fill as camera woman, editing. You know, tell me what all you do to support Aaron in the festival.
I'm a really bad filmer, but he like positions me where I need to be to get the right shot for him, and then we just do it until he likes it.
We haven't seen, I don't believe. Yeah, no, we haven't seen your acting debut yet. Is that coming in the future, or?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not. That's all right. Can you share an embarrassing story about your husband? I know he's right next to you, but can you still?
Well, when we first got married, I had this really expensive whitening toothpaste, and it went missing. And I was like, I know I just laid it here and I don't know where it went. And I asked Aaron, and he was like, I have no idea where it went. And then a month, I don't know, 2 months later, I found it hidden in his drawer. And so he was using it because like he wanted it. And I don't know why we couldn't just share it, but he wanted it. So he hid it.
What?
This man just stole your toothpaste. Oh my god.
I plead the fifth on that.
Yeah, I don't know why we couldn't share it, but he wanted it to himself. So he hid it.
Caitlin, what advice do you have for any future wives that might be joining in the years to come?
I don't know if I'm the best person to give advice, but maybe just like have fun and enjoy everyone having fun and just go with the flow.
If there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands had to create those films, what would you force Aaron to create?
I don't know. I really like cookies. I don't know. I like brownies and cookies. I love like the random flavors of cookies. Like oatmeal chocolate chip is my favorite. And like I feel like, I don't know, like some film about cookies. I feel like I would love that. Right?
Okay, so,
Right?
I don't know.
Well, all right. So what I'm hearing is you want to write a film where his character becomes like a baker. That way, at the end of shooting, you can have all of the props.
Yes, that's perfect.
There we go. Okay. That's a good idea.
I want to get something out of it.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I want.
All right, and the last interview for this episode is Melissa Downey. Yay.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for your time today. Do you have time to answer a couple of questions?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared.
What? I sent you the questions. What are you scared of?
Well, the problem is I didn't really look at them.
Okay, well.
I just got home.
All right, well. Melissa, what is your favorite thing about the festival as a whole?
I think I really like the camaraderie. And it like forces us to get together, not even like but like before that, because we'll be like in people's films, and so it's just fun to see everybody and get to hang out, and it makes us more intentional about actually seeing people.
How about your least favorite thing about the festival?
I mean, I think last year I was definitely overwhelmed by the number of people there.
Me too.
So maybe that. It was just like a lot of people in a small space. I don't know. I really like the festival.
No, that's good. I mean, like, it definitely is. I mean, you know, it's just a lot that's in like a 10-hour span.
Yeah, it's
So
very draining. It's very
Mm.
fun, but like by the end of the weekend, I was really tired.
Don't blame me there. What is Josiah's best film out of the 3 years?
So that was my question. So best film from the film festival?
I mean, I would love to know both answers. Like, if you have a best film that he submitted at Asbury, or if, but I'm mainly asking about his best out of the 3 he has submitted already.
I think Interconvoluted. I'm not sure if I said that correctly.
You got
Is his best film, the one that I like the most, I think.
Tell me a little bit about some of the roles that you support Josiah in. Like, obviously, you've acted a little bit. Have you helped with camera work, editing, writing? Tell me what you do to support him.
Yeah, so I've been in a couple of the films, and then Snapped, I was the camera person for like all of that because he was the only character in it. And then when he has days where he shoots, I usually have to clean the house and then cook for all the people. A contribution, but that's something I do. And sometimes I help him talk through ideas and stuff like that as well. But ultimately, I just do whatever he says he needs.
Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Josiah's not here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me an embarrassing story about Josiah.
So I had a lot of trouble with this because Josiah doesn't do embarrassing things. But my favorite Josiah's ever made, and it still exists on YouTube. When Josiah was a child, he made a music video to the song Boomin' by, like, I don't know, Toby Mac or something like that. And it's still, and I loved it so much that when we were in high school or maybe college, he remade it and did like a Boomin' 2.0, and they're hilarious. So that, and Josiah doesn't do anything embarrassing ever. But I thoroughly enjoy that. So,
Melissa, you send me those links right now. You send me those links right now. That's a good one. That might be the best one so far. because it comes with content too. Is the thing. Melissa, what advice do you have for any future wives that might be joining in the years to come? Warnings or advice, anything you have for them?
I think just embrace it. Like you guys are just like super weird. And if you don't look at me like that,
it's just an interesting take, but go on.
It's like just a really cool group of guys. There's just nothing like it. Like there's nothing to compare to it, I don't think. And so I think if you just embrace the nerdiness of it, then you can have a lot of fun with it. And I think to like be a part of it. Like I don't think it needs to just be for you guys and we just happen to be there. Like I know several of the wives have like been in different people's films and you know, we've gotten a lot like closer through that. So I don't know. I think just embrace the nerdiness of it.
Jump on in the deep end.
Right.
See how it works out for you.
I think know that it's part of the deal too. Like I think once you're a nerd, like you weren't even there that long and you are like part of the community. Like once you are a nerd, you're stuck with this. So if you marry a nerd, that's on you, I think. And know what you're signing up for.
My hope for this is that like we'll put this in like a little segment that all the wives are giving this advice, and that like, you know, whenever Tanner, whenever Zach, you know, whenever they get engaged, we're gonna show them this and they'll be like, if I marry you, that means I have to hang out with Jacob. Oh God, that's a deal breaker. No.
Part, honestly, if you can get past that, then it's not so bad.
I'm excited for your answer on this. If there was a year where the wives wrote the scripts and the husbands had to create those films, what would you force Josiah to create?
I would 100% use it to just get things that I already want. So there would be a plethora of cats probably written into the script to where we would have to adopt more cats. Would need to get ice cream. Like I would just make all the props things that I want, I think would be my scheme. And then he has to get them because I wrote it into the script.
No, see, the character needs a new TV. It's integral to the script.
It would literally just ice cream and cats and gnome decorations because I've gotten real into gnomes.
All right, that's good.
You know, Pokemon for the Switch. Like what I would just use it for my own personal gain, I think. Or make him do something ridiculous like a gummy bear film because, you know, what idiot would do that?
Do you feel good about that?
Yeah, I do, actually. I've seen your film. It's not your best work.
I think it's safe to say that last year was my best work, not this year.
For the record, I've been listening to some of your podcast episodes, and we were listening to maybe Andrew's, or I don't know if it was you interviewing Andrew or Andrew interviewing you. But he said that he voted for your film, and I think that Andrew has lost all credibility in my book because he voted for your film. So,
wow.
I'm just saying that you've proven that you can do better, and you chose not to.
I was on the road for like 10 weeks last summer.
Hearing a lot of excuses.
I had COVID the 1 week that I wasn't on the road.
Poor workman blames his tools. So,
yeah, man. All right.
You could have done better. You could have totally Jacob McGloned that whole situation. You're a very all or nothing person.
Look, using my name as a verb has never been a compliment, so I don't know how to take that.
You could have made something so cool, and you didn't.
It looked cool in my mind, but I had COVID at the time.
I also think you were protesting because you lost your audio person. So you were just like, whatever, I just won't even try.
No, I lost Levi after I had finished visual editing and stuff.
Oh.
So
An excuse. That's upsetting.
Yeah.
You were gonna send that to Levi? You were gonna pay money for Levi to edit that audio?
Yeah, it was like $50 too. He would have made bank.
Yeah, but he would have suffered the whole time.
It wasn't that bad, okay?
That bad. It was really awful.
All right, Melissa, thank you for your time today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
What did you think was going to happen exactly by inviting me onto this podcast?
I don't know. I'm done recording. I'm stopping the recording, so nothing else will be heard.
You can't silence.
I've just got one more question for you. You attended last year, right? Not the one at
that's right.
Zach's house, the one that before.
Both.
Yeah, you attended both. You remember my film was Meaningless. It was the time travel one with like fighting and special effects.
Yeah.
You remember that one? All right, and then you remember Aaron's film. It was the one where he like killed the dog or something.
Yeah.
All right, which one was better, just in your opinion?
Oh, I don't feel like I should answer that.
No, I mean, but like just objectively, which one was better?
Well, didn't you win?
I did. He won.
He won? Okay.
He won.
But
But which one was better? Just objectively.
I feel like I should just give the safe answer, and I would watch them again. I would give them both a rewatch to be able to tell you which was better. Couldn't make that call today. It's been a couple years.
That's such a politician's answer. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I actually think I voted for Meaningless that year. So
You know what, Ellen, I've always liked you.
Yeah.
I've always liked you, Ellen.
That's my vote. I say Meaningless.
You have great taste. Like that's just what it is.
Oh, wow. Okay. I
Mhm.
feel like that is a very pointed question since you made one of the films.
Mhm.
And you know, Aaron is actually my friend before Andrew was, so that's also kind of difficult. Wow. Let me think about this for a second and kind of just weigh the pros and cons. I like Chuckles. Actually, I like mildly like Chuckles.
What is mildly like? What does that mean?
Like he's like really cute from afar, but just like up close, he kind of is unnerving because he breathes really funny.
That's true. Pugs are.
But I'd like pet him for a little bit, I think. So I like mildly like Chuckles. I think Aaron's film skills are really good, but I do believe that you tried really hard and just kind of stepped it up. So I would probably have to choose yours.
Yes.
But I hope that Aaron understands, and it's definitely not like to me at least. I know it is to y'all. It's not a competition.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, Caitlin also said that my film was better that year. So it's
wow,
perfect.
and she like more than mildly likes Chuckles, so I feel like that's saying a lot.
I think Meaningless was better. That's the one you made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Meaningless was better. I think that was some of your best work, and I definitely voted for it. I don't love the idea of Chuckles dying, personally. Yeah, but I thought Meaningless was great. How to not find food in the wild was an atrocity.
We're not talking about that. Stop. It's better. Just between me and you. Aaron doesn't have to know.
Oh. Yours.
Caitlin, I always thought you were amazing. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. So thank you for talking with me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I unplug my ears?
Yeah.
What if I don't remember either of these?
Well, mine was this really cool time travel one, and Aaron's was the one where he kills his dog.
Oh. That's
Mm.
very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have cool effects in yours
I did.
that like you worked really hard on?
I did.
Is that when you like really stepped it up?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
would give you props for that. And then Aaron, I like don't know him very well, but I'm always like his stuff is like so dry or
Mhm.
surprising. Do I have to actually pick which one I liked better?
I mean, you can just say me, and we can
Okay.
just be.
You. I liked yours better.
That's a great answer. Thank you, Riley. That
You're
was so And what's great is I'm going to edit it so that it seems unprompted.
I feel like I have to say an answer that will not make you mad.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love pugs, because my family had them growing up, and I think Aaron did a pretty good job. I will say, okay, he did pretty good. Like, I think he did really good on it. But I definitely think that Fever Dream was better. I know you put in all that time into especially the fight scenes, and like you and Wesley completely went 120% on that. So I would say Fever Dream.
Holly, I've just got one more question for you.
Sure.
So at your first festival, I submitted a film called Meaningless, a McGlone Fever Dream. It was this epic time travel romance with fighting and everything. And Aaron Winiarowski submitted a film called Rotten Roommate, and it was about like a pug that was possessed. What was your favorite out of those two?
Oh, I'd have to choose.
Yeah, like just objectively, if you had to choose between those two.
I don't like this question. I'm going to start by saying that I don't like this question.
That's fine.
I
Just it should be pretty
just
easy.
liked based on what? Like liked based on humor, liked based on
Your
just
enjoyment.
general
Your
enjoyment.
Whichever one gets me the win. That's what it's based on.
Here's what I'll say. I feel like for me, I laughed more during yours. I remember that.
That's a point for
But
me.
I remember, yeah, and I remember, but I also remember with Aaron's too, I was like, kind of, I felt bad for the dog. Like, I thought, like, I don't know how to explain it. I think that was where I was stuck at. Like, it was a great film. It was, but I felt bad for the dog. I was just like, what is happening the whole time? I don't know. Here's the thing. It's so hard for me to choose films because this is what I mean by everybody having a different kind of like realm of creativity. Everybody is just so freaking creative. It's hard to be like, I like this film. It's my favorite because I like elements of every single film that's submitted. And I know that sounds like a really crappy cop-out answer, but I promise you,
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
stalling. So which one was better?
I don't know. I think because I felt bad for the dog, I'd probably say yours because I just felt bad for the dog.
Yes. All right. That is a clean sweep. That is all the wives liked my film better than Aaron's film. Thank you, Holly. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it is at this point editing this that I realized that Callie never actually chose. So I forced her to watch the films again and decide. So here is an addendum to her interview.
Okay, Callie. Now that you have Okay, Callie. Now that you have had time to go back and review both films, which one was better, Rotten Roommate or Meaningless?
Rotten Roommate, hands down. There's no question.
No.
I don't even know why it took me a rewatch to answer that. long pause. Jacob will keep in the edit.
All right. Well, thanks for.
I mean, yours was good at improving from the year before.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for wasting my time, I guess. Thank you.
Did you not want my honest opinions, Jacob?
I don't think I did. No, I think I wanted you to lie. All right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.